This is early documentation of my third attempt to raise these larvae, not these specific ones, but batches of the same. These are skunk cleaner shrimp zoea. You can see they're kind of clustered up in the top of this newly printed kreisel tank, and that is a bad thing. And I eventually figured out what was causing them to do that and how to fix it, but I'll get to that in a second. As I said, I've tried this twice before, once without a kreisel design, once with one that had some problems, and this version fixes those problems, or at least some of them. The mesh used is much wider, 500 micron instead of 250, so it doesn't clog, which I was getting problems where the previous one would clog and then overflow. This one also has a piece of silicone aquarium tubing, like airline tubing, as it's used as a gasket against the glass, because the previous one, either the front of the tank was a little warped or the print was a little warped and it had a gap that they would kind of get caught in. But you can see them drifting around here. This is a couple hours after capture and transfer into this tank. You can see the hermit crab in the background. And I found in capturing them that they are extremely phototaxic. I had trouble even getting them into the Vossen larval trap when there was some stray light in the room, and when I turned off some of the lights, I found that they were even drawn to the moonlights on a neighboring tank, and then I had to block that out with a piece of foam, and then I eventually was able to capture them. But you can see them. It's a little blurry, but you'll see shortly that when I shine a flashlight in, they all start going towards it, and this is an indicator of how phototaxic they are. They'll chase after the light, and then as soon as it's switched off, they all jump away and start doing their own thing. There it is. They're kind of all going towards the top now rather than following the light. And this was critical to capturing them and then eventually preventing them from kind of clumping up in the corner of the kreisel. When I first caught them, I wasn't getting that many in the Vossen larval trap because there was stray light in the room. And when I shut the lights off, I got some more, but they were getting distracted by a moonlight from a neighboring aquarium. And when I blocked that out, I was finally able to get all of them. So this is the design, and to mitigate this problem and what eventually prevented them from collecting in that top left area of the kreisel was this black neoprene on the left side, which I just wrap around the front of the tank, because the problem is that light getting in from the side, at least when the main lights aren't on, really confuses their navigation quite a bit. This is from the next morning, so they're probably about 12 hours old in this shot, and they're the little tiny specks that are kind of drifting around. You can see the air-driven pump, which is a new design, but it's the same principle as before. There's the neoprene in use. And here is later. This is about 24? Yeah, this is about 24 hours old. And they look about the same, difficult to get focus on, especially with this camera equipment, but you can see they're kind of just drifting around. And this is their normal state. They're getting a little bit more coordinated, and I think in some of my earlier footage of other batches, you could see them like going in corkscrews. And when the stray light is blocked out and they're kind of in a normal setting like this, that is not a normal behavior. So if you're seeing corkscrews in your larva, they're probably confused and don't know where to go and are, alarmed or just exerting themselves quite a bit. Because this is now 24 hours into, into their life, and then the next clip will be 48 hours into their life, it's clear that they are eating, which is great. I've added apocyclops in unsorted sizes, I've added TDOA, and I've added a good amount of live phytoplankton. And though I don't know which they're eating, and I don't really see them hunting, I'm not sure that they're coordinated enough for that just yet. They do seem to be eating something, because 48 hours in is the most success I've had so far. And you can see every so often they have a pretty significant kind of jump back maneuver like their adults would. But I'll see how long I can raise this batch for. This is the farthest I've gotten so far, and 2 days in 150 or so before settling is not all that much. So wish the little guys luck, I suppose.